Hi everyone, welcome to Smack Reviews. If you love our honest reviews, smack that subscribe button so you never miss out. First and foremost, happy Black History Month and congratulations, you made it to February. 2025 was an interesting year for movies and shows. We did get some decent shows here and there, but there wasn't much I was super excited for. However, this year we have a decent lineup I'm looking forward to reviewing and watching. Let's get into it. So the first show I'm excited to see this year is the fourth season of From. What really has me looking forward to this season is how the show continues to lean into its mystery without giving easy answers. Every season ends with more questions than solutions, and instead of feeling frustrating, it actually keeps me more invested in the story. That balance between mystery, horror, and character drama is why From stays at the top of my watch list. The second show I'm excited to see this year is The Burbs. This one has my attention because it feels like it's leaning into that unsettling, slow burn suburban horror that really sticks with you. I love stories that take something familiar and comfortable and slowly reveal that something is very wrong beneath the surface. Overall, this is one of those stories I'm keeping a close eye on because it feels like it has the potential to be surprisingly effective if it nails the tone. The third show I'm excited to see this year is Bleach: 1000 Year Blood War Part 4. I've talked about Bleach on this channel before, and I'm a little sad that this is the final season. The visuals have been amazing, spectacular, the music is repeat worthy, and the action has been top tier. I expect it to end with a bang for sure. The fourth show I'm excited to see this year is Carrie. What really draws me to this one is the idea of revisiting such a well-known story in a long-form format. Carrie has been adapted so many times, but a series has the opportunity to slow things down and really explore the emotional buildup instead of rushing straight to the chaos. If it gets the tone right and really commits to the character work, this could end up being one of the more interesting horror adaptations of the year. The fifth show I'm excited about is the Squid Game America. What has me curious about this one is how the concept will translate outside of its original setting. The original series worked so well because they reflected specific social pressures, and I'm really interested to see what a US version chooses to commit on instead. It has a lot to prove for sure, but if it takes risk and understands why Squid Game resonated in the first place, it could be a surprisingly compelling story. The sixth show I'm excited for is the second season of Avatar: The Last Airbender live action. What has me looking forward to season 2 is the potential. The first season wasn't perfect, but it showed that this adaptation actually cares about the source material, which is something fans have been burned by before. That alone makes me curious to see how the show grows from here. I'm especially interested in how the show handles character development going forward, especially with the introduction of Toph's character. It's got a strong foundation, and season 2 feels like the moment where it can really prove itself. We also recently found out this season will only have 7 episodes, which is kind of a bummer because the first season had 8 episodes. I'm very curious on how they're going to put so much content into less episodes, but time will tell. The seventh show I'm excited about is the Buffy the Vampire Revival. What makes this one exciting for me is the potential to revisit that world with a modern lens, while still honoring what made Buffy special in the first place. The original series balanced horror, humor, and character-driven storytelling that still holds up today, and there's a lot of room to build on that. Of course, there's always some hesitation with revivals, but that's also part of the excitement. The eighth show I'm excited for is the final season of The Boys. I'm expecting this season to fully commit to the chaos while finally paying off years of build-up. I'm also excited for this supernatural reunion. The character arcs, the rivalries, and the moral gray areas have all been leading to something. And I'm excited to see how far the show is willing to go now that there's nothing left to hold back on. What I'm hoping for most is a satisfying conclusion that doesn't lose sight of what made the series work in the first place. The ninth show I'm excited for is The Hunting Wives Season 2. What has me looking forward to this season is how the first season managed to balance suspense and character drama so well. I'm always drawn to shows that make you question people's motives and keep you guessing, and The Hunting Wives does that better than most. The first season hooked me because of the unpredictability. You never really know who to trust. If the show keeps that same tension while expanding the drama and intrigue, it could end up being even more addictive than before. The 10th and last show I'm excited about is the One Piece live adaptation of season 2. What has me looking forward to this season is how the first season proved that a live action adaptation could actually capture the spirit of the original anime. The characters, the humor, and the adventure all worked in a way I didn't expect. And now I'm excited to see how they expand the story. Luffy and the crew really started coming into their own last season, and I'm hoping this next installment deepens those relationships and gives us more of the heart and humor that makes One Piece so special.
One of the first movies I'm excited for is the Super Mario Galaxy movie. I do think that the first was surprisingly good for a video game movie, and this has me excited to see one of my favorite games come to life on the big screen. In the video game itself, I always loved the various levels we saw throughout both Galaxy games, and I have no doubt that there will be a variety of environments we'll see throughout the movie. I also hope we see that gloomy blue star again. Even though this movie has already come out, I can't wait until I get around to watching Mercy. What makes this one stand out to me is the premise that you have to prove your innocence to an AI judge or it'll execute you. While some people might think that this premise is ridiculous, there could always be a possibility in the far future that less human judges will exist to make a final judgment and it be left to artificial intelligence. This movie will easily be one worth remembering, and as time passes on, I think this movie will be referred to a lot as technology continues to advance. Another entry into the Avengers has been long overdue with Avengers Doomsday. When a franchise like this comes back, it's not just about action, it's about stakes, world building, and finally seeing long-awaited storylines pay off, and also giving us fans an idea of the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. With it being an almost 4-hour long movie, I'm really interested to see if the story they have to tell is worth justifying an extremely long runtime. Staying within the MCU, Spider-Man Brand New Day is the next movie I'm also looking forward to. When it comes to Tom Holland's Spider-Man movies, I've always thought his first 3 have been good, except for the second one. I didn't really enjoy that too much. I'm excited to see what new villains and challenges Spider-Man will face, but just like with Doomsday, what I'm most interested to see is how they will continue to set up future Spider-Man movies, or will the story ultimately set itself up to wrap up Tom Holland's tenure as Spider-Man? I'm normally not the biggest fan of biographical movies, but I'm actually looking forward to Michael Jackson's movie simply titled Michael. There of course already exist biopics of Michael Jackson and his family, but I feel that this one should focus more on Michael himself, and I expect this to most likely be one of the last new pieces of content we'll get in regards to Michael Jackson. While I do feel that this movie is going to cover a lot of what we already know in his life, I'm hopeful that the movie will show a good amount of things that we haven't seen or haven't known about in Michael Jackson's life. I also wonder if the movie will talk about any of the controversies that Michael was involved in, or if it's going to, for the most part, paint him in a positive image. I'm also looking forward to the Hunger Games Sunrise on the Reaping. The death game genre is a niche genre that just happens to be one of my favorite in media that isn't done a lot in general, and there's really only a handful of IPs that actually do it well, and the Hunger Games of course is one of them. The original movies didn't really emphasize Haymitch himself, so it's nice that we finally get a movie where he's the main focus. Ironically enough, the 7th movie I'm looking forward to is Scream 7. The reason Scream has aged better than most long-running horror franchises is because even though the movies do follow the same structure for the most part, what each movie does do differently is that it restructures the formula so that it doesn't always feel like more of the same. The writing for these movies is always consistently good, and I expect it to be just as good for Scream 7. What I'm most interested in seeing is the in-universe explanation as to why Sam and Tara's characters won't be returning, since both of the actors respectively exited the project years ago. Especially since their friends such as the twins will be returning in this movie, I'm just curious to see if the explanation will make sense or if it's going to be too far-fetched. The Toy Story franchise has always held a special place in my heart. While I do believe that Toy Story 3 should have been the final Toy Story movie, can't help but look forward to every new Toy Story release afterwards, especially with Toy Story 5. I'm curious to see how the story will play out, since it does seem it'll revolve around kids being consumed by technology, and we'll have to see how the toys respond to this. Also, since it seems that Woody is returning, I wonder how they explain this considering how Toy Story 4 ended. Parody movies movies have largely disappeared from Hollywood, so I was surprised to learn that a Scary Movie 6 will be released. What has me excited here is the chance to laugh at all the ridiculousness and meta-humor in the franchise and just parody movies are known for in general. Parody movies have become a lost art over the years, especially the ones that can actually execute it well. I don't expect this movie to revive the genre, but it'll be nice to watch a movie genre that we haven't seen on the big screen for quite a while, honestly. Finally, there's The Legend of Aang: The Last Airbender. Personally, I didn't watch the original Avatar until I was older and it started picking up popularity. I tried watching Korra afterwards and honestly, I don't know what they were thinking. While it wasn't entirely bad, it made me wish to see more adventures of Aang and his group. While there exists the comics to continue witnessing their adventures, I still wanted to see the original group animated and I can't wait for it to come out. Since the movie is expected to be of them as young adults, it should be a standalone story and not entirely based on any of the comics that have already come out.
Overall, there's a ton of stuff to look forward to this year in entertainment, especially when it comes to movies and shows. There were definitely others, but we would be here all day if I named them all. 2026 should be a good year, and I'm looking forward to watching them. Make sure to like, share, comment, and please subscribe. Bye!